Okay, everyone. I can't take deal with this no more at this terrible show tonight. Name my topic tonight. It's called pathetic, poor, and putrid in Providence, Rhode Island. Will Saturday's main event be any good this Saturday night? And will Evolution be any good this Sunday? So then I'm going to give all you my predictions for both Saturday night's main event this Saturday and Evolution this Sunday night. So much I have to say. But before I do, I'm gonna open show a little bit of music. I'm gonna open up the show with this number one hit by Tina Turner. This number one hit by Prince from 1985. Raspberry Beret. So stick around, I'll be right back. Get the music playing. I'll be right. In 1 minute. Yep, Raspberry Beret by Prince. All you just heard. So let's get down to business with this terrible show tonight. Okay, then now to Forever Together, the WWE video leads us into the show. The WWE Joan flies us to Emeka Mutual Pavilion. Pre-show rivals. Sami Zayn is shown arriving. He'll battle Braun Breaker later tonight. Main event, Jey Uso is also in the building. He'll fight Bronson Reed tonight. Penta is also shown arriving. He'll take on Seth Rollins. The Judgment Day is also shown arriving with their newest member, Roxanne Perez. Seth Rollins and his crew address their plans for the night. Burn it down. Burn it down. And who cares? Seth Rollins, on the winner they're gonna name their state. This piece of shit group people gonna name themselves a stable. Seth Rollins heads to the ring along with WWE Hall of Famer Fat Ross Paul Heyman, who's holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. Braun Breaker, Big Bronson Reed. The crowd loudly sings Seth Rollins' theme, which is stupid. Rollins will battle LA Knight on Saturday night's main event this week. Rollins extends a hand. Heyman goes to hand him the microphone, but Breaker walks through them and takes it himself. Everyone in the ring looks confused. The crowd barks for Breaker. Breaker says he is standing in this ring because Seth Rollins and the wise man Paul Heyman have a vision as him as the face of the WWE for the next 2 decades. Whatever. And this isn't 2015. This is 2025. Wise man Paul Heyman having a vision, the face of the vision of Heyman. I say the wise dickhead Paul Heyman have a vision that has him as the face of the WWE for the next 2 decades. Breaker also has a vision of WWE without Sami Zayn. The crowd boos. Breaker doesn't like Sami. He doesn't like Sami Zayn's ugly face, his stupid beard, his music, or the fact that people sing it. Breaker's voice cracks, and he slaps the ropes in frustration. The Sami chant fires up. Breaker says he will never understand why people would cheer for someone with the athletic ability of a dead fish. Zayn has never played sports and he doesn't go to the gym. Zayn is hanging on for dear life to hang him on another 5 years to squeeze the last bit of water from the rag. Zayn has an expiration date. Breaker will put a stamp on it tonight. Breaker promises that if Zayn walks to the ramp, he will maul him. Zayn will be looking at his lights by the end of it. Heyman cautiously approaches Breaker and asks him for a microphone. Breaker gives it to Heyman and the crowd chants, Sammy. Heyman then gives the microphone to Rollins. Rollins asks if Breaker is good before cackling. Breaker is not in a laughing mood. Big Bronson Reed then head motions for the microphone. A CM Punk chant lightly picks up. Breaker says Breaker is tough act to follow, but so is he. Reed says he's the man who hit Seth Rollins with 6 tsunamis, hurting him badly that it formed respect between them. Rollins brought him into this group in his vision. With that vision, he will get the respect that he deserves. Jey Uso does not respect Reed. The crowd chants, Yee! Tonight he will tsunami the respect into Uso, just like he did to Seth Rollins. Rollins takes the microphone back and to give it to Heyman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Tonight the Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, that was the name of the movie. Heyman says that was a blooper. Tonight the Empire will strike first on the list is Sami Zayn. Heyman will try to follow that promo if Zayn hasn't highlighted tail back to Montreal. It's his ass. Not Heyman's. Not Heyman's. Tonight we will have Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso. Heyman has love for his brother, bloodline member Jey Uso, but Roman doesn't have the balls to come back to step up against them. An LTC chant picks up Heyman. It says the LTC is MIA. After tonight, Jey Uso will be the MIA. All thanks to master of the tsunami, Bronson Reed. The big news is that Seth Rollins, the man who pinned Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania, will don the tots against Penta. Heyman speaks in Spanish for saying he doesn't understand Penta's hand signals. By the time he stomped into the mat tonight, Penta will be in no shape to do those hand signals ever again. That's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. Heyman hands the microphone to Seth Rollins as a CM Punk chant picks up. Rollins says they covered everything, so there's one thing they'll have left to say. Providence, welcome to Monday Night Rollins. Rollins walks off with his group. I read this. No, this is really coming just like 2015 all over again. Was this Seth Rollins? I mean, this arrogant douchebag. This is coming just like the authority and the Triple H and the CEO and Ari Emanuel and Nick Khan is coming just like this is coming just like the authority. Like 10 years ago. I don't know why these fans loving this shit. Last Monday night on Raw, the Judgment Day defeated New Day to win the Raw Tag Team Championship titles. The Judgment Day Clubhouse. Finn Balor is admiring all the belts the Judgment Day has accumulated. Raquel Rodriguez walks in and demands to know what is going on. The memorial set up for Liv Morgan. Raquel Rodriguez says Morgan is still alive and rehabbing every day. She'll be back soon. Balor reminds her that it took him a long time to come back from a shoulder injury. Rodriguez says it will be prettier picture if they retain their tag team titles at Evolution. She also says Roxanne Perez needs to do what she would do. Beat Kairi Sane. Perez says, "I've got you, partner." Rodriguez says it's too soon before crossing herself and blowing a kiss to Morgan's picture. They walk off. Well, I know some fans are not happy about this with Roxanne Perez, but let me remind all of you that Liv Morgan was jealous of her when she came to Judgment Day. JD McDonough asked Balor. I mean, in one thing, if I know WWE won't push Roxanne Perez, and they're going to continue to shove Liv Morgan in some of our throats as usual. Sometime soon, if Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan have a feud. JD McDonough asked Balor if he knows their plans. Balor doesn't know. McDonough says Raw GM Anna Pierce's office is right down the hall, and they should go over. Balor likes it. Barry Dum Dum points to the cake and thanks them for getting it for him. They say, "Didn't get it," and leave. The cake says, "Get well soon" from Dum Dum. From AJ. AJ Styles emerges from Styles' emotions and that he's watching Mysterio. Mysterio says he has a doctor's note, but Styles disappears. In the arena, Kairi Sane heads to the ring and she'll battle WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Roxanne Perez next. Then we go to commercial break, and then it says that at Evolution this Sunday, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez will defend their WWE Women's Tag Team titles in a fatal 4-way match. They'll defend against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair of SmackDown, and Sol Rukia Azaria of NXT. We don't know the team from Raw yet. Kairi Sane versus WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Roxanne Perez with Raquel Rodriguez. The referee is Danilo Fibio. The bell rings and they lock up. Perez clubs away at Zane and slings her down. Perez punches away at Zane before smiling. Perez bounces Zane in the corner and rakes her face under the top rope. Perez puts Zane in the corner, but Zane starts to fight back. Perez ducks a cut blast and applies a side headlock. Zhang elbows her off, but Perez takes her down by the hair. Perez hits the ropes. Perez hits the ropes and completely mistimes something. Perez applies a side headlock. Zhang whips her off and goes for a cutlass, but Perez held her onto the ropes and goes onto the apron. Perez grabs Zhang and snaps her off the ropes. Perez changes her in the corner, but Zhang avoids it and rolls her for a 2 count. Perez rolls her for a 2 count. They start trade pins. Perez does allow Maggie Straw to a bridge, but Zhang kicks out. Zhang goes for a submission, but Perez grabs the ropes. Perez stuns her with a strike and sends her into the ropes. Zhang ducks a clothesline and hits a scissor takeover that Perez takes her time, flipping her for flipping her. Zhang then stuns her with a cutlass before connecting with a sidling forearm to the face. Perez rolls out of the ring to recover, so Zhang dives off the apron with a forearm to the face. Zhang gets Perez in the ring and goes to the top rope. Raquel Rodriguez distracts Zhang, so Perez pulls her down to the top from the top rope. Perez pulls Zhang over the turnbuckle connector and snaps her arm off it. Zhang goes to the ringside and holds her arm in pain. Back from the break, Zhang hits a pair of hammers before hitting a flipping neckbreaker. Perez goes to the corner to recover. Zhang starts to walk the plank for hitting a sliding forearm smash in the corner. Zhang goes for the top rope and jumps over Perez as she moves. Perez rolls her up for a 2 count. Perez kicks Zhang in the head. It's a running uppercut to the back of the neck. Perez does a double jump springboard moonsault for a near fall. Perez attacks the arm. It hits what looks like to be Penta's sacrifice. Perez sizes her up and charges, but Zhang moves out all the way. Zhang whiffs a boot and sets her up for Alabama slam. Perez holds the ropes to save herself and hits an arm breaker. Perez hits a headstand knee to the head for a near fall. Perez really connected with that. Perez puts Zhang on the top rope and forearms her in the face. Perez climbs to the top ropes, but Zhang knocks her down with a headbutt. Zhang connects with a diving forearm to the face. Perez avoids an attack, but she can't avoid the Alabama slam. Zhang heads to the top rope, but Rodriguez pulls Perez out of the ring. Zhang comes off to the top rope with a cross body block to the forearm of Rodriguez. Perez quickly attacks Zhang and gets her in the ring. Zhang avoids a pop rocks and catches her with a baseball slide for the pin. Winner by pinfall, Kairi Zhang. Rodriguez and Perez are irate and double team Zhang. Sore loses, huh? Rodriguez boots Zhang down. Asuka then runs down for the save. Asuka takes Perez down and stuns Rodriguez with a backhand and strike combination. Perez meets the same fate. Rodriguez then clothesline Asuka down, and Rodriguez sets up for a Tejana bomb and holds Asuka for a bit before Zhang drop kicks her. Asuka applies an arm bar over the top rope before Zhang pushes Rodriguez over the top rope. Asuka hits Rodriguez with an Empress attack for holding Perez for an insane elbow. The Kabuki Warriors are reunited. Yeah, I bet you Io Sky is good friends with the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Zhang, you know. This wasn't really good match here. Last Monday Night Raw, Karen Cross vicious attacked Zhang's ribs with a steel pipe. Later tonight, the injury cost Zhang the match where he teamed with Penta to take on Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Jey Uso saved Zhang from further damage. Jackie Redmond is backstage with Sami Zayn. Zayn's ribs are heavily taped up. She mentions that he is balancing Karen Cross and Braun Breaker. How is he managing all this? Zayn says he has too much on his plate. Zayn would have loved to deal with injured ribs, but he can't. He would love to pay more attention to Karrion Kross, who is probably lurking around. All he can think about right now is Bron Breakker. He doesn't care if his arm, if Breakker likes him, and his music and his beard. Breakker is dangerous. Is a dangerous man, so he has to concentrate on him. Zayn walks off. Scarlett walks up to Jackie Redmond asks if she has something to say, but Scarlett simply says no. She continues to look in the direction that Zayn left. Commercial break. General Manager's office, Raw General Manager's office. Adam Pearce. American May is talking with Raw GM Adam Pearce. They are concerned about El Grande Americano competing. Bruce Creed says it's impossible because Chad Gable is hurt. Bruce Creed snaps his brother on the back of the head. Pearce asks what Gable has to do with it. Bruce says El Grande Americano can't compete. Pearce says Americano requested the match himself for inquiring why they were really there. Ivy now says she wants a spot in the Battle Royal at Evolution. Pearce says she's in. Nyla is happy and they leave. The Kabuki Warriors come into Hold on a second. The Kabuki Warriors come into Adam Pearce's office. Asuka says they want to talk about Evolution. Pearce says they will represent Raw in a fatal 4-way match to take down the Judgment Day. The Kabuki Warriors are reunited. The Kabuki Warriors dance as they leave. Pearce dances in the background. Video. Nikki Bella says it's been a few weeks she's been back. She wanted to talk about Evolution, but instead she got in a confrontation with Liv Morgan. Morgan questioned her womanhood, her legacy, and attacked her. A little fire in her. Bella wants to return to the ring to have one more moment to prove her fans in the Bella armor what she can do. She wants to show her son what the WWE Universe has seen. Bella will be in the Battle Royal. She'll be facing the best woman in WWE. But she'll do whatever it takes to win. Bella wants the title opportunity at Clash in Paris. You don't run from your past. You build a future that no one can ever take. She appeared why she is fearless. She won't win it. Promise you that. In the arena, Sami Zayn makes his entrance as he walks down the Wwe Karrion Kross, attacks him from behind. Scar appears behind Kross. Kross has the lead pipe and smashes Zayn in the ribs again. Raw GM Adam Pearce runs out with WWE officials to pull Kross away, and Zayn is in pain. Then we go to commercial break. Raw GM Adam Pearce is checking on Sami Zayn. Zayn pulls his shirt off to tell Pearce that he can go. He signed up for this match and he will see through it. Bron Breakker comes out to the stage with Paul Heyman. Heyman is holding Seth Rollins' money in the briefcase. Heyman gives Breakker advice before letting him go down to a ring of his own. Here we go in this match. Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker. Referee is Chad Patton. Breakker gets in the ring and smiles clearly at the injured Sami Zayn. The bell rings and the crowd is barking. Like Rick Steiner, father Rick Steiner in WCW. I don't know why in the world what's going on with these fans cheering it, rooting for the heels. Breakker looks gratefully, positively gleeful. The Breakker is sarcastically tells the crowd to look at Zayn. Zayn is holding his taped ribs in pain. Breakker easily avoids some punches before slamming Zayn to the corner and hitting some vicious shoulder thrusts to the injured ribs. Breakker says he doesn't get it. Zayn is pathetic. Zayn is a bum. Breakker stomps on the injured ribs, and the ribs to tape off. Breakker puts Zayn on his shoulders and hits a rib breaker. Breakker grabs Zayn by the hair and talks trash. Breakker hits Zayn with a T-bone suplex before sizing him up. Zayn struggles to get to his feet. Breakker charges for a spear, but Zayn clotheslines him down. Zayn hits an elbow and comes off the second rope with a double axe handle. Zayn goes back to the second rope and leaps, but Breakker connects with a spear out of midair. Zayn rolls out of the ring and holds his ribs in pain. Zayn's writhing in pain. Commentary shot that Chad Patton should call a match. Breaker exits the ring opposite. Zayn. Breaker runs around the ring and hits Zayn with a spear onto the floor. Breaker is fired up. Michael Cole begs for the match to end. The crowd is fickle as ever, just like John Cena says, "One more time." Breaker puts Zayn in the ring and puts his straps down. Breaker hits the ropes at lightning speed and crushes Zayn with a spear for the victory. Winner by pinfall, Brian Breaker. This is bullshit. WWE medical personnel check on Zayn, who is struggling to himself to breathe. Mike Cole says Zayn needs to be saved from himself. This is crap. I don't know why in the world they're shoving this new future stable in our throats. Last Monday night on Raw, Bayley and Lyra Valkyrie pinned each other at the same time for a draw. They get an extended ball after. Then we see the backstage setting. Raw GM Adam Pearce is talking with Viking Raiders. New Day walks up dressed in all black. They're all in mourning. Pearce let the Judgment Day kill the whole Team Division. Where's their rematch? Eric says they don't get an automatic rematches. Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch comes up to New Day and offers her condolences. She says Adam Pearce has bad ideas before complimenting them on a good idea to get rid of Big E. She says Big E was a scumbag. Well, you're a scumbag too, Becky. Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch addresses her Evolution match. Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch said is in the ring. She wants to know how two losers who beat each other last week have a title against her at Evolution. It's a triple threat. So casually she is at a disadvantage. Can someone explain how that works? Lynch gets it from Adam Pearce's perspective. She is the greatest female wrestler who has ever lived. Sports Illustrated said it. She's done so much. You need her on an Evolution. You got blah blah blah. She beat Bayley. She beat Lyra Valkyrie. Neither deserves an opportunity. She deserves to pick her opponent. Others have for the show. Lynch says it's all a show of ruse. Bayley and Lyra Valkyrie in cahoots because they know the only way they can get the title off her. Last week they pinned each other sarcastically. That's a rarity in wrestling. Well, all I can say is this, in the words of JBL, what he said to Michael Cole, stop with your conspiracy theories. And someone should tell that to you, Becky. Because, no, they are not in cahoots, Becky and Bayley. Because they were just they were fighting. They were feuding just about a few days ago. Bayley charges down to the ring with a microphone in her hand. Before she can say anything, Lyra Valkyrie makes her entrance and bumps Bayley on the way to the ring. Lyra Valkyrie says her title is wrapped around the waist of someone who is crazy. It's time to she's time to takes it back. Bayley gets in the ring. Valkyrie takes it back, and Bayley gets in the ring and is not too happy with Valkyrie. Bayley says she's been elimination champion not for Valkyrie 2 weeks ago. Valkyrie sarcastically cannot believe Bayley's are speaking to her. Bayley says she doesn't need partners or friends. She doesn't need to serve that championship. Lynch cackles says it's nice to see Bayley not trying so hard. Lynch says Valkyrie dropped her like a hot potato. Valkyrie says she wants to set the record straight. She didn't bring Lynch back and called her after the attack at WrestleMania. Lynch says she wasn't there so much hesitation. Lynch says Bayley is everything she is pretending to be. Like Valkyrie says Lynch can't get her in her head anymore. Valkyrie says Lynch is right that Bayley doesn't care about friendship when it comes to the championship goal. That makes Bayley just like Lynch. Valkyrie knows what she has to do on Sunday. rescue the championship from two massive disappointments. Bayley says she sat front row from when Valkyrie was the first ever women's Intercontinental Champion. When they had the tag team tournament to get to WrestleMania, she saw Valkyrie put in the work. And Bayley watched Lyra Valkyrie lose that championship and raise Lynch's hand like a little bitch. Valkyrie strikes Lynch before brawling with Bayley. Fighting words. Valkyrie knocks Bayley out of the ring and hits a wrecking ball dropkick. Lynch goes for a manhandle slam on Valkyrie, but Valkyrie counters with a Nightwing. Bayley runs in. Valkyrie hits her with Nightwing. Valkyrie picks up the title and talks trash to Lynch and throws it back down. Lyra still stands tall and poses on the turnbuckles. She really fight back. She really got the strength. Lyra Valkyrie. It's been announced that Jelly Roll will be on SmackDown this Friday. Highlights from the brutal, hard-hitting brawl between Sheamus and Rusev last week on Raw. Rusev emerged victorious. I don't know how many times we're gonna see this feud between. We saw this feud many times between Rusev and Sheamus. Locker room segment. Seth Rollins is in the locker room with Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Rollins says the match with Sami Zayn went exactly as it should have. Rollins knows Breaker has his head down. Rollins asks what's went wrong. Breaker asks what they are going to do about carrying Cross. People are going to think it couldn't do on his own. Rollins tells him to forget about Cross. Breaker still has got Zayn with 3 spears. Paul Heyman walks in, looking sad. Heyman asks if they heard the news. Heyman smiles. Sami is out of action indefinitely. Heyman has a 6 smile and they all celebrate. Rollins asks why Bronson Reed is laughing. Because Jey Uso is perfectly in fine health. Reed says he won't be when he is done with him. Reed walks off and smiles. Arena Concourse. Main event, Jey Uso is fired up. Main event, Jey Uso is fired up with the fans around. He makes his entrance with a huge ovation. The crowd eats with him. Uso will battle Bronson Reed next. Main event, Jey Uso versus Big Bronson Reed. Referee is Jessica Carr. The bell rings and Uso quickly starts punching Reed. Reed cuts him off and goes for an avalanche, but Uso moves. Uso strikes him when he hits a snap kick. Reed blocks a whip. Uso sends Uso hard into the corner and avalanches him down. Reed mocks the yeet time. Reed rips Uso's t-shirt off and clubs back in the neck before punching him in the face. Reed drops a big elbow and looks around. Crowd chants, "Let's go, Uso." Uso avoids a senton splash and punches away at Reed with some theatrics. Uso upcuts him before hitting an enziguri, knocking Reed out of the ring. Uso hits the ropes and connects with a suicide dive that sends Reed over the commentary table. Uso clears the commentary table and rolls into the ring. Big break count. Reed headbutts Uso and lifts him up, but Uso slides off and super kicks him down with a chair. Reed is seated and is looking loopy. Uso knocks him over with a super kick. Uso gets back in the ring and goes for a suicide dive, but Reed throws him to the chair into his face, and the referee calls for a bell. Winner by DQ. Main event, Jey Uso. Reed heads to the top ropes. Reed heads to the top rope and crushes Uso with tsunami. Reed heads to the top rope and hits another tsunami. Reed pounds his chest. Raw GM Adam Pearce runs down with WWE officials. Reed leaves the ring with it without incident and mocks the yeet time again. Then we go to commercial break. WWE Factor 9 Goldberg will culminate in a 20-year ring career at Saturday night's main event. Oh boy. LA Knight says Seth Rollins could have really chapped him. Rollins has a lot of pain to do. He's in debt. Rollins got something that belongs to him. Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank. It's his carry. It's his to carry the burden. That burden will be heavy. Knight will show Rollins what he's about. In MCV, Rhea Ripley has never defeated Io Sky. They show all the times Sky has defeated her. Ripley says Sky has had a number of every step of the way, whether it was the Mae Young Classic, NXT, or Women's Division, Women's World Championship. She's been a step ahead. This is her division because Mommy is always on top. Io Sky says no one in the division will ever take the title from her. Yet Io Sky will defend the Raw Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley at WWE Evolution. In the arena, El Grande Americano makes his way to the ring. Then we go to commercial break. El Grande Americano versus Dragon Lee. Referee is Danilo Fibio. This version of El Grande Americano is Ludwig Kaiser. They circle the ring and lock up. Americano hooks a side headlock, but Lee whips him off. Americano shoulder tackles him, but Lee rolls him up for a 1 count. Americano hits a head scissor takeover, but Lee fights back with a rolling hurricanrana. They use some quick takedowns before getting into a stalemate. Americano celebrates, but Lee shoulders and kicks him back. Lee comes off the top rope and crosses body block for a 2 count. Lee blocks a kick and applies a waist lock, but Americano takes him down, but Lee fights back and goes for a monkey flip. But Americano lands on his feet. Lee drop kicks him and knocks him out of the ring. Lee hits the ropes and goes for a suicide dive, but Lee kicks him in the head. Americano whips into Lee into the steel steps and punches away at him. Americano whips him into the barricade and Lee flies into the timekeeper's area. Back from the break, Americano's fighting Lee out on the top rope. Lee soon hits him with a sit-out powerbomb for a near fall. Lee signals that he's going to rip Americano's mask off. Americano gets his way, so Lee kicks away at him and takes him down. Lee takes him down in the corner and hits a slingshot dropkick. Lee hits a running basement dropkick for a 2 count. Americano fights back and hooks the arm before coming off the top rope. A blockbuster for a near fall. Lee is recovering on the apron. Americano attacks him and climbs the ropes, but Lee knocks him into the tree of woe. Lee hits a double stomp for a near fall. Americano rolls out of the ring to recover. Lee connects with a somersault plancha and gets him in the ring. Americano avoids a dive and connects with a running headbutt for a win. Winning by pinfall, El Grande Americano. The replay shows El Grande Americano putting the steel plate in his mask, making him running headbutt much more devastating. Penta is warming up when Paul Heyman approaches him. Heyman says Seth Rollins' personal oracle. He speaks some insults in Spanish. Ron Breakker walks up, but Penta says Ceramito. Penta walks up and Heyman and Breakker talk about how much they hate Hands' emotions. Heyman's a pain in the ass, and Ron Breakker is just another Brock Lesnar wannabe. Then we'll see you go to commercial break. A video of Stephanie Becerra highlight reel. Becerra says the Dark Angel has arrived on Raw to do whatever she has done. Dominate. Stephanie Becerra will be part of the Battle Royal at WWE Evolution. The winner will earn a championship match at Clash in Paris. Tomorrow night on NXT General Manager Abel will announce the participants in the main event in a match. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther addresses Gunther. World Heavyweight Champion Ring General Gunther makes his way to the ring. He'll defend his title against Saturday night's main event. It'll be Goldberg's final match, depending on whether he wins or not. A Goldberg chants fires up. Gunther says that Saturday night's main event will be his World Heavyweight Championship against Bill Goldberg. For the last 2 weeks, he's been verbally abusing Goldberg in the middle of the ring, so Goldberg has done nothing about it. Gunther can assume that Goldberg is afraid of him in the pressure. We'll see a shot of the parking lot where Goldberg drives up into a nice red sports car. Choir roars for a sight of WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg walks with a purpose backstage and enters in gorilla position and goes out of the stage in the midst of sparklers. WWE Hall of Famer heads to the ring and gets right in Gunther's face. It's clear how he heard what Gunther had to say nice, since he was driving. Goldberg says they should fight right now. Gunther has been talking too much trash. Holy shit picks up. Goldberg says Gunther has been talking too much trash. Gunther goes to speak, but Goldberg swats the microphone out of his hand. Goldberg gives him a free shot before blocking it and punching Gunther to the ground. Gunther sets up for a fire spear. Gunther bails out of the ring. Gunther with shoulders shouts 5 days. Crowd chants Goldberg. What is this, WCW now? 1998. This is gonna be. This is. Oh boy. The commentators run down Saturday night's main event card. They will go after the WWE Evolution. The commentators run down Saturday night's main event card. They go after the WWE Evolution card. Backstage segment. Penta was walking backstage. He passes Grayson Waller, who was talking in the Monday Morning New Day. He battled Seth Rollins next. Penta versus Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman for referee Eddie Rango. The bell rings. Penta immediately super kicks Rollins out of the ring. Penta attacks Rollins at the ringside and knocks him into the Prime Energy hydration station. Penta attacks the knee and bounces him off the barricade. Penta looks disappointed. Penta pushes Rollins against the ring post, against the chops, and chops your chest. Rollins rolls to the ring before rolling out. Penta attacks and bounces him off the commentary table. Penta stands on the table to celebrate. Penta presses Rollins against the ring post and goes for another chop, but Rollins avoids it. Penta slams his hand against the ring post and is hurt. Rollins sends Penta into the timekeeper's area, takes a moment to recover. Penta blindsides him with a hurricanrana off the barricade. Penta gets in the ring and celebrates a bit. Rollins attacks Penta and smothers him with a corner. Penta quickly boots Rollins and goes for a handspring slingshot dropkick, but Rollins moves. Rollins quickly snaps Penta off the top rope and sets up for a pedigree. Penta avoids it. Rollins with a bronze super kick. Penta catches in with a clotheslines over the top rope. Penta hits a top con Helio. Penta back from the break. Rollins hits a snapmare and kicks him in the spine. Rollins is cut from above his eye. Rollins used the Penta mask to wipe the blood away and applies a grounded bear hug. Heyman happily looks on while leaning on the Money Bank briefcase. Penta fights up and chops out. Rollins sends him in the ropes and Penta holds the ropes. Penta boots Rollins and kicks him in the knee before a reverse sling blade. Penta takes him down in the corner and hits his handspring slingshot dropkick. Penta sets up for a Penta driver. But Rollins elbows out. Rollins goes for a buckle bomb. Penta gets away from it. Rollins sends him into the corner, but Penta counters for a slingshot backstabber for a 2 count. The crowd chants, "This is awesome." Penta sets for a Mexican destroyer, but Rollins counters by lifting him. Penta slides off and kicks him. Penta goes for a tornado DDT, but Rollins catches him and hits a gutbuster. Rollins heads to the top rope, Monster Ceremonial taunt, and hits a frog splash for a near fall. CM Punk champ picks up. Rollins goes for a stomp, but Penta moves. Rollins goes for the top rope, but Penta stuns him with a kick. Penta sets up for a suplex, but Rollins knocks him to the apron. Penta lands on his feet and charges for a head scissor takeover off ropes. Penta hits a Penta driver. The 1-2 Rollins kicks out. The crowd chants, "Let's go Penta." Penta sets up for a sacrifice, but Rollins kicks him away. Penta goes for a running hurricanrana, but Rollins counters with a buckle bomb. Penta immediately pops out of the corner, hits a Mexican destroyer. 1-2 Rollins grabs the bottom rope at the last moment. Once again, the crowd chants, "This is awesome." Penta signals for it at the end, but Rollins headbutts him in the groin. Penta drops to the knees and in pain. The referee doesn't see if it was intentional. Rollins is smiling before it connects with a stomp. 1-2-3. Penta tells Heyman to make the call. Heyman gets his phone out soon. Ron Breakker and Ben Bronson Reed come out of the stage. All of a sudden, Knight attacks Rollins from behind with blunt force trauma. Breakker and chase him out of the ring. Breakker trips up, getting out of the ring, takes a weird head take over the barricade. Knight manages to escape. Rollins is stunned with a BFT. The crowd chants LA Knight and the show comes off to an end. All I can say is this: fuck Seth Rollins, fuck Bron Breakker, fuck Paul Heyman, and fuck Bronson Reed. And to hell with Triple H, to hell with TKO Holdings, Nick Khan, and to hell with Ari Emanuel. Penta should have never came to WWE, and I feel like Jade Cargill should never came to WWE. This is just BS. Why in the world is Triple H and the creative team trying to make this like 2015 all over again? And Lyra was right tonight about what she said tonight. Becky and Bayley are old news. It means 2025, not 2015. And I'm really tired of Seth Rollins. This is coming a repeat of the Authority all over again. We need a new. I wish we need a new CEO. I'm telling you, we need a new CEO. We need a new creative team too. Cause this is just got BS. Just got BS, complete BS, in my opinion. So I can't deal with this shit no more. Let's go. Let's see. Now let's go to start with Saturday. My predictions for Saturday. Now I got all cut. Let's go start with my Saturday night's main event predictions. Okay, well, Saturday night's main event will take place this Saturday night in Atlanta, Georgia, hometown of Goldberg. Okay, first match, Goldberg versus Gunther. This will be Goldberg's retirement match for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is what I'm predicting. I'm predicting Seth Rollins is going to cash in right here. Cash in. Seth Rollins is going to cash in, and this this will be Goldberg's first first match, in-ring match for Goldberg since 2022, and it'll be his final match in his 20-year wrestling career. I say that Seth Rollins is going to cash in and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. That's what I'm predicting. If it's possible, I say probably Goldberg. I say Goldberg probably wins, and Seth Rollins will cash in his Money Bank briefcase and beat Goldberg and something like that. Interference, and then what happened was Raw General Manager Adam Pearce will come out and say that Seth Rollins is. He'll say that Seth Rollins, who's now the new World Heavyweight Champion, will say that he'll defend his title. Because we all know he was set to face on LA Knight, but so he'll make changes. He'll defend his defends his World Heavyweight Champion title against LA Knight. There'll be changes. So, and maybe probably Seth Rollins will retain. Then the next match, singles match, I'll say that Goldberg. I'm gonna go with Goldberg for this, and Seth Rollins, who might, if possibly he's the new World Heavyweight Champion, face off against singles match for World Heavyweight Championship. I say Seth Rollins retains. Yeah. Third match, Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I say Randy Orton. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Randy Orton beating Drew McIntyre. Now let's go to the predictions for WWE Evolution. Now let's see. NXT Women's Championship match. JC Green with Fallon Henley. Justin Nix versus Jordan Grace. I say Jordan Grace. I'm gonna go with Jordan Grace. Let's see, Io Sky, Raw Women's World Championship title. I'm gonna say I say Rhea Ripley. I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley. Third match is fatal four-way tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Sol Rukia and Zarya from NXT. And the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi. I'm gonna say the Kabuki Warriors. But I think but I feel like Raquel and Roxanne will retain. And the Battle Royal for I don't know for this Sunday. I don't know who was in this well, I know it's Stephanie Vicaire. And we all know it's Nikki Bella, and who knows match Clash in Paris. Who knows? And see now a triple threat match for the women's Intercontinental Championship match. Triple threat and women's Intercontinental Championship match. Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyrie. I say that Becky retains. Becky retains. And probably we might see and probably we might see a either who turns heel, either Lyra or Bayley. If Lyra turns heel, I'm gonna go with her all the way. I'm gonna go with Lyra turning heel because Bayley has been in the spotlight for too long already. I mean there's no Boston Hug. It's not 2015 anymore. There's no Boston Hug connection. There's no Sasha Banks. I mean she's even though she's in the AEW as Mercedes Moné. There's no four horsewoman, but there is because we already got Becky and Charlotte there in WWE. So those are my predictions right there. Now it's time for something I like to do. It's time for my history and pop culture and wrestling history and birthdays. Since pop wrestling history and birthdays. Let's go to Saturday, July the 5th. Okay, last Saturday was a happy 36th birthday to Adam Cole. Jerry Saggs and the Nasty Boys turn 61 last Saturday. WWE Hall of Famer Hillbilly Jim, he turned 73 73 last Sunday. Let's see, Konami turned 29. She turned 29. She's a Japanese female wrestler. And let's see, July 5th, 1985 on WWF Friday Night Titans. 1985. Yeah, there was a highlight showing. It was a highlight. Should be called Friday Night Titans, not Tuesday Night Titans. Yeah, the Jesse Bobby Ventura shows us music video called "I Got the Body," and I got the body, and let's see, I got the body. They showed now. Let's go to July the 6th. Yesterday. Okay, Vince McMahon Sr., Vince McMahon's late father, he would have been 111 yesterday. He died on May 24th, 1984 of cancer. Lars Sullivan turned 89. Mando Guerrero, Mexican wrestler, he turned Mando Guerrero, turned 73. Mando Guerrero. In 1985, the Great American Bash took place. The first ever Great American Bash took place at Charlotte, North Carolina, American Legion Memorial Stadium. And Ron Bass, the singles match, Ron Bass versus Buddy Linnell, with J.J. Linnell ending the draw. The Andersons, Ole, and Iron defeated Buzz Sawyer and Dick Slater in a tag team match for the NWA National Tag Team Championship. Manny Fernandez, Sam Houston, and Buzz Tyler defeated superstar Billy Graham, Conga the Barbarian, and Abdullah Butcher in a six-man tag team match. Jimmy Valiant defeated Paul Jones in a dark color match. The Russian team, Khrushchev, and Ivan Koloff versus the Road Warriors, Animal Hawk, with Paul Ellering ending in a double DQ. It's a tag team match for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Magnum TA defeated Carmella with Skandar Akbar by DQ for the NWA US Heavyweight Championship. Ric Flair defeated Nikia Koloff with Ivan Koloff in a singles match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship with David Crockett as special referee. Dusty Rhodes defeated Tully Blanchard with Baby Doll in a steel cage match for the NWA TV Championship. And as a result, Dusty winning the match, Tully Blanchard's valet, Baby Doll, was forced to be Dusty's valet for 30 days, which sparked her face turn as she became a full-time valet and his partner in Magnum TA. And somehow Tully Blanchard blamed Dusty Rhodes for turning for turning blamed Dusty Rhodes for turning Baby Doll against him. Well, it was Tully Blanchard's own fault because his actions did that. And after the event, Buzz Tyler had left JCP after a dispute with Booker Dusty Rhodes and took the NWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship from him. The Russian team will lose to the World Tag Team Champions with a debut in Rock and Roll Express 3 days later. Ric Flair returned heel later in 1985 and joined his kayfabe cousins Ole and Anderson to break Dusty Rhodes' leg in a steel cage in September of that year, forcing him to surrender the TV title. And Flair and Anderson would become the later foundations known as Four Horsemen with Tully Blanchard and J.J. Dillon joining early 1986, Carmelo joining WWE later in 1985. So that's why how the Four Horsewomen or Horsemen debuted, because Tully Blanchard blamed Dusty Rhodes for turning Baby Doll against him. So that's how the that's how the Four Horsemen all started. Now 2015, July 6, 1985, Monday Night Raw. Big Show defeated Ryback by DQ. Brie Bella with Nikki Bella with Alicia Fox defeated Paige. Sheamus defeated Roman Reigns by countout. Dean Ambrose defeated Bo Dallas. King Barrett defeated R-Truth. Big E and Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defeated Lucha Dragon, Sin Cara, and Kalisto. John Cena defeated Cesaro to retain the U.S. title. And Paul Heyman, at the same time, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar dressed Seth Rollins. Now he's kissing Seth Rollins' ass 10 years later. Big Show versus Ryback. And then we see Dolph Ziggler getting attacked by Dolph Ziggler, and we see it because it was all a ruse. Rusev and was in some way fool everyone. Rusev was never hurt; he was on crutches. Then Rusev put Dolph Ziggler action in, Lana break down in tears. Then Seth Rollins called out Brock Lesnar. Then Brock Lesnar destroyed Seth Rollins' car. Yeah, that's it. Now let's go to July the 7th, today. Yeah, 20 years ago, it was a terrorist attack, a little terrorist attack. Yeah, the London bombings. 10 years ago today, London bombings. Now, on this day in 1995, a movie was released in theaters called First Night, starring Richard Gere, Sean Connery, and Julia Ormond. And a movie called Species, starring the late Michael Madsen. We lost Alfred Molina, Forrest Whitaker, Mark Hellenberger, and Natasha Henstridge. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, the late Michael Madsen, who we just lost on the day before, on the day before the 4th of July. And let's see. And let's see, look up a movie. Let's see, we'll see. Pop culture, wrestling history, 2005, July the 7th, on SmackDown. Chris Benoit defeated Booker T in a U.S. title #1 contendership match. The Blue Meanie with Nova and Stevie Richards defeated JBL in no DQ match. Eminem, Joey Mercury, and Johnny Nitro defeated Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio to retain the WWE Tag Team Championship. Matt Morgan versus William Regal. No contest. The Undertaker defeated Daivari with Muhammad Hassan. Batista defeated Christian to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. By the way, about the movie Species, Michelle Phillips was in that movie. Michelle Williams was in that movie. Species. Yeah, I was just about to. Michael Madsen. Species was always just about the movie Species. The movie was just about to celebrate 30 frames, and bam, Michael Madsen passes away. Just the day before, just days before. If he was alive right now, if he would never died last July the 3rd of this year, he would have reunited for the 30th anniversary of Species. That's sad. And Eddie Guerrero crosses the line, continues to act like an ass to Rey Mysterio. Then there was an incident occurred at this new stable that came out here and attacked Undertaker. And then they were like some associates of Muhammad Hassan. And this caused him to be suspended and fired from WWE television because due to the terrorist bombings of London. And in 2015. On Tough Enough, Neville defeated Heath Slater. Lucha Dragons defeated Los Matadores. Cesaro defeated Luke Harper. On WWE Main Event. And on Tough Enough. Hold on a second. Tough Enough. What am I talking about? Tough Enough. I was talking about WWE Main Event. Sorry. I meant WWE Main Event. I'm sorry. I mean WWE Tough Enough. I'm sorry. Trying to see Tough Enough. Yeah, Tough Enough, July the 7th. Patrick and Tanner Tussle. Yeah, July the 7th. And it's and his douchebag Seth Rollins criticizes the Tough Enough criticizes contestants. And Deanna opens up about her exit. Then on WWE, the season premiere, this is the season premiere Total Divas. Yeah, the episode dealt with the Bellas facing consequences of leaving WWE, Eva Marie's new role division among the Divas, and Italian exploring her damage. So the episode was called Diva Divide. That's the name of the episode. Then on WWE main event, Neville defeated Heath Slater, the Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara defeated Los Matadores, Diego Fernando, and El Torito. Cesaro defeated Luke Harper. And that's it. So that'll do it for okay, it's 12:06 right now. Y'all do for my review for last night for my pop culture and history and birthdays and everything. So I'm gonna so it's late chat, it's chat late kitchen. So as you say, like to dress up with chubby chick, sing like Lionel Richie James, like James Brown, like to get in that hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. So hope I have a good night. Sleep good, all of you. It's midnight. That was by the way about the that was I was referring to Eddie Murphy doing the impression of James Brown Saturday Night Live doing Eddie Murphy doing the impression of James Brown Saturday Night back in the 80s. I never grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, so I saw reruns of old school Saturday Night Live when I was little. So hope all have a good morning. It's midnight and get some sleep. And good night to all of you. Hope all have a good morning. Now I'm gonna close out a little bit of music for all of you this midnight. I'm gonna close out the show with this number one hit single from 1995 by this Eurodance Swedish group called Rednecks called Cotton Eye Joe from 1995. So have a good night. Here it is, close out the music. Cotton Eye Joe by Rednecks. Number one Billboard top hit single 1995. Good night.
I do.